Hello and welcome along to part 37 of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. We're back for the final league game of the season with Hibernian. It's a reunion with the club we left to join them, Dundee. And partway through the season, we left Dundee in 5th. And they're now fighting today to get back into Europe. On the other hand, we're here in 4th place, still 1 point behind Dundee United. Dundee's rivals, which makes it even more difficult. And if we win today, we should, based on the fact that Dundee United are going to Rangers, be able to wrap up 3rd place. And that means Europa League playoff football rather than Europa Conference 3rd qualifying. Essentially, guaranteed group stage football. Rangers, though, who are Dundee United's opponents, are 3 points off Celtic. And although there's a massive goal difference swing, they'll still have that little outside bet of saying we could win the title if we win this 7-8-9-0. So it's going to be such an interesting game. I can't wait to see how it goes. If you're looking forward to it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. And of course, we've got the added spice of we wanted to stay at Dundee. We wanted to get that contract sorted. They wouldn't offer us one. We came to Hibs and then they offered Stevie Crawford the money that we're getting at Hibs. We would have stayed at Dundee for £3,000 a week. And despite the new manager coming in earning massive money for them, they look like missing out on Europe altogether. And considering we left them comfortably in 5th, that would be an awful blow. But we're only going to focus on Hibernian today. Let's see how we got to the stage we're at the moment. Because quite frankly, it's been an interesting ride, we should say. You were with me, of course, as we played Celtic in the Cup semi-final and Dundee United in the league. And since then, it's gone exactly as expected. The most important result was the 1-0 win at Kilmarnock. It was an 81st minute header from Kevin Nisbet, glancing in at the front post. Without that goal, there'd be nothing really to play for today. As it is though, that kept us in the hunt. What is disappointing is against Celtic via Pedraza, and probably more so at home to Rangers, where we had them level until the 71st minute, and that was their only shot on target in the whole game. We lost both of them 1-0. But for next season, if we can improve the squad, we know there's 2 or 3 coming in the summer. We know there's young players who are going to improve. Can we compete with those 2? Certainly be best of the rest, but can we get to the top 2? That's the question we've got to ask. But that's all ahead. We've got Dundee today. The dynamics at the club look pretty good. John Sutar was moaning about our team talks, which seemed a little bizarre. We were criticising that we were 3-0 up at half-time and then only just snuck a 4-3 win in that game. So I'm not sure what he's too upset about. We've also got some staffing news because Graham Matthey, the technical director, has been very busy getting people in. A lot of new contracts as well. Basically everyone is signed down long term. But in terms of signings, Andy Liddell was brought in. Now this one's significant because he was with us at Dundee apparently. Now I don't remember featuring him much, but his attributes are pretty good and it's weakening Dundee. So as much as we loved our time at that club and we'll have fond memories of it forever, it's sort of becoming a bit of a grudge since. The way they replaced us, the way they didn't back us, and of course what's happened since with their big money man. I was just trying to look for the other person who came in. It was Josh Gallagher, who is a performance analyst who looks very good at 27. He's going to be joining us on a 2-year deal as well, earning decent money, but adds very well to the backroom team we've already got. There's some work going on to improve others, so we've got the reserve manager tied down another year, the same for the under-18s manager. So it is all happening in the background here. It's a bigger institution. There's a lot more going on. And we've just got to try and keep on top of our job. And today, that is all about Scottish Premiership action. Because the final day of the season in the top 6 sees us against Dundee in 6th place, a grudge match against our former club. Celtic against Kilmarnock as they look to wrap up the title. And Rangers are home to Dundee United. We very much need help from the blue side of Glasgow. They have to win or draw at least for our result to be relevant. If Dundee United nick a win there, we can't catch them. It's as simple as that. If they draw, we have to win our game against Dundee. And if Dundee United lose, we should finish 3rd as long as we get a draw based on goal difference. So that's sort of what we're hoping for. Because away from home, we've not been great. We've had a lot of low-scoring draws. It's been very much the opposite of our home form, where it's been high-scoring wins in thrillers. So that's what we've got to look out for. At the other end of the table, perhaps another slight shock, Motherwell, a staple hold of the SPL, they've gone down to the 2nd tier, St Johnstone in the playoff, and the likes of St Mirren and Dunfermline and Livingston all comfortable. So very interesting there, but we've got to focus on our game. Dundee v Hibernian, we'll see what their squad's going to be as well, as they've gone to a 4-4-2 since we've left. and we're going to pick what we think is our best chance at winning today. That means we have got Lackey in goal, Sutar and Doig the fullbacks with Porteous and Dunn at centre-half, Vaux, Farrell, Mallon and Boggarts the midfield four-diamond, and Nisbet up front with Villa, who has overtaken Cummins in terms of rating, has been better in recent performances, and hopefully will unlock the key in terms of goals today. We really have got to focus on getting the result. I'm thinking about Maysheet, but Vaux did lead to a goal with the long throw in the last episode, so we want to keep that going just for now. But that's the lineup we've gone for. Dundee are the opposition. Will our former club get one over on us, or will we wrap up Europa League playoff football against them? Let's go and find out. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Well, it certainly looks like a 4-4-2 for Dundee. They've gone for experience today largely, bar Barry Daly up front. Archibald left on the bench. Pittman's out of the squad. They seem to be going with Griffiths and Goran despite transfer listing the latter. They've got good experience on that bench though if they need it. They've gone for Luke Chambers at left back again rather than Danny Preston. But it's an interesting squad, it's an interesting lineup. Our only change from the Rangers game is Villa in for Jason Cummins. With of course got the end of season review after this game. And the result, the performance, is very likely to affect my mood. And of course if Dundee United win at Rangers and at Ibrox, we are going to be absolutely furious. We're working hard to end what is 2 defeats on a row. But we've been playing the top 2. You would expect that to happen. And when we get to the mid-season split, that's always going to happen for the 3rd to 6th place clubs in Scotland. What we need to do is break that monopoly next year. But to do that, we need guaranteed income and European football. And only 3rd place can achieve it. As Porteous plays out to Doig on the left. We're going to try and keep on positive because we've got a midfield 4 in the middle against their 2. And I'm hoping we can overrun them. And Boggess is trying to do just that. The shot looked like it was blocked, but it's gone wide and they've given a goal kick. So I can only assume it didn't take the deflection it looked like. 1 shot apiece, nothing on target yet. And it's been a very cagey affair so far. We might have to bring up the latest scores soon. But for now, the league table should do enough. Rangers are 2-0 up. Right, that's important. Rangers have done their job. The only thing we have to do now is avoid defeat. So let's drop to balance because we're getting outdone in terms of shots. Albeit there's not been any on target. And 0-0 is a brilliant result for us here. Who would have thought, coming to our former club Dundee, where we want to prove a point, where we want to stop them getting into Europe, which a draw does as well, that all we need to do is hang on to a 0-0. We could well be time wasting for it come the end. I'm going to point the finger and say I'm not that happy, because it has been a poor performance in truth. But quite frankly, if we get to 94 minutes and don't have a highlight, I'll be very happy at this rate. There's 10 minutes gone in the second half. We have apparently had 2 shots on target. Rangers are winning their game 4-1. Celtic have taken the lead as well. As it stands though, we're still in 3rd place. And it is going to depend on this game only. 3 shots on target each. We're seeing nothing. I can only suggest they're not great chances. So Lee Farrell is tired. Now I need to go and check this, so bear with me. If we go and have a look at the transfer clauses, we got a warning about him being close to a certain number of appearances. And I don't want to lose that money before the summer. So 2 league appearances and he'll be due 300 grand. That means we can bring him on now if we need to. So there's no problem with that or no restriction. But I really don't know what to do. Dalavia's apprehensive. So Jason Cummins on off the bench. That's the first change. We're going to make them in 3 separate instances to make sure we take as much time as possible. As McGee throws into Carlton Morris. Into the right hand side of the box. Don't do it, Carlton. Oh, you naughty man. He's put George Cooper in and now we're in big trouble. Oh, don't do this to me. Not this way. We can't do it by losing to Dundee. Surely. It would be the ultimate slap in the face after them getting further in Europe. After all the extra success that we had there. Oh, it wouldn't be good. Boggess is going to go into midfield. We're going to leave it like that for now. In the number 10, it will be Saba. 1 more sub to go. Who's it going to be? I think I'm going to go Mark Flynn right back because he's a more attacking threat, wants to get forward more. And with 18 minutes to go, we've got to try and save our season. We're going to go attacking. I don't know what else I can do instructions-wise. We'll push the passing directness. We'll push the tempo up. We'll try and be more expressive. In transition, we're going to counter when we win possession. And we're as far forward as we can be. I don't think I can do anything else. As it is, this is going to be a painful day at the office. We've got to demand more. We've got to get something out of them. There's just no attacking highlights. We haven't had one all game. It's been a woeful performance, and now it's a Dundee corner. Rodriguez takes it, Goran, Doig heads away, Saba's got a counter on here, nicks it ahead of the defender, it's a 2-on-1, you've got to put Nisbet in, you've got to, he does, Nisbet! It's 1-1, 2.5 minutes to go, and the time-wasting tactics will go back. We could have backdoored this at the very last minute, and we are going to go full-blown time-wasting. A 1-1 draw might be the best result ever. And you never thought we'd be saying that at the start of the day. What a ridiculous way it is for this to turn around. And with 2.5 minutes to go, Nisbet has equalised. And we are going full on defensive. Dundee 1, Hibernian 1. A disappointing performance and a poor draw against our former club it could be. But my word, on goal difference, it could wrap us up third place. Dundee United heavily beaten at Rangers. We have just got to cling on. There's 2 minutes to go. Goran's got a free kick. Puts it into the box. Doig heads away. Saba gets there on the counter. Can we finish it off with a victory? Saba goes in behind. He's run the length of the pitch. Set up the equaliser. He's got a chance here. Puts it over the bar. It might be his last game for the club for financial reasons. It might not be the grandstand finish we were hoping for. But that could have been the most important assist in my career so far. I know the Scottish Cup was a big one, but we have got a minute to hang on here. And Bogus has nicked it again. Cummins picks it up on halfway. It's a 3-on-2. Dundee are throwing everything at it. Cummins goes alone. Tipped wide by Bentley. Excellent goalkeeping. But in stoppage time, we picked them off. And I'm a bit wary about how many players are forward here. The corner in is headed away. Chalmers is going to chase it. Well won by Doig, but he doesn't get enough on it. And it's 1-on-1. What's going on here? Barry Daly's in. He goes all the way. It's a brilliant save by Lackey. Wonderful sliding challenge from Flynn after it. And with the last kick of the game, Dundee's youngster bottles the chance to send us back down to fourth. A deserved point in the end. An exhilarating match. An awful first hour followed by a grandstand finish. And my word, it could not have been much closer than that. It's Dundee 1, Hibernian 1. We finished third on goal difference after Dundee United lose at Rangers. And with the very last kick of the game, we could well have lost it. I've no idea what happened defensively. But we've wrapped up third. And given what we joined to do, and given what our future ambitions are here, that was absolutely essential. Hibernian third, 68 points, plus 28 goal difference. Dundee United fourth, 68 points, plus 19 goal difference. Job done. Let's go and get ahead to the season review. We'll do our standard one with Hibs first, and then we'll go and look at Dundee as well, as we did spend over half the season there. We'll be back in a minute for the season review at Hibs. I need a moment to recover. Well, after 2.5 million was added to the coffers for the third place finish, as well as the confirmation of Europa League playoff football, let's go and have a look at the 23-24 end of season review for Hibs. Of course, we played a very small part in it in the grand scheme of things, but we did the important job. So let's have a look at the boys. The new arrivals this summer were Lackey, Bogus, who's been a superstar. I mentioned about the 3 players needing a work permit. 2 of them were rejected, but we got a message to say that Gunnarsson was given a new deal. So he's going to be back and first choice keeper in the summer. I'm really looking forward to that, because he's a big upgrade on Lackey, although he was the hero in the last minute there. So a good backup next season if he doesn't get sold. But given his age, given the fact that people want him for more money than he was signed, he might well get sold. We know what our director of footballs are like in this save. Most of the others were squad players. Maishi a bargain for 140 grand. And then a couple of those loan signings towards the end. I mean, Dallavia was really important as it stood. Couple of good appearances, 2 important goals, and helped us wrap up third place. They all count. If we look at the season results though, 18,000 the average home attendance, far greater than the Dundee capacity, which shows that we've stepped up. We finished third, Dundee miss out on Europe because of that draw, Kilmarnock the ones that nicked it off them. So job done considering we joined in fourth, 6 points behind. In the Europa Conference, the less said the better. A terrible second leg defeat to Young Boys of Switzerland. But otherwise, it was a decent run and the club got a little bit of money out of it. The Scottish Cup, a disappointing semi-final defeat to Celtic, but 3 good wins beforehand. And the League Cup obviously occurred well before we got here. So we'll be looking to chase a trophy next season. We've won one with Dundee, and we'd love to get something with Hibs too. The biggest win of the season is a 7-1 win at home to Kilmarnock, which we led, of course. The best match to remember at Dundee United and the Scottish Premiership goal of the season for our team. Both happened before we joined the club. But that 7-1, definitely the best performance. And certainly, the last game against Dundee, the best result. The club's reputation stays 3-star, pretty much all of the revenue similar. The prize money's big. Now next season, our goal has to be to get to the Europa League group stages. It will depend who we get in the playoff, but it's a massive opportunity. We managed it with Dundee, and if we could do it here as well, it would be something special. Let's see the lineup. Who are the best 11? It's pretty much what we'd expect. They've gone for Macey over Vaux. We were looking at the long throw specialist, but I might just let that go next year, because that Dundee United goal is the only one it's led to. We obviously had a couple of disasters with it. The Celtic game at the start, the curse of the long throw in the first one on camera. I don't know. We'll decide over the summer, but Vaux the wrong side of 30 now. Macey, certainly the best player in that role. And he's got the right personality to be on the pitch if we're losing. Someone we've got to look at in the future. Finally, though, the accolades. Stevie Mallan gets Fans Player of the Season. Boggart's definitely the deserved Young Player of the Season. Nisbet with 17 goals, most of which came after we joined. And Saba with 10 assists as well. Jimmy Dunn, excellent centre-half, really improving with his average rating. And there's some record breakers there as well, which is nice to see. In terms of competition awards, Irish Player of the Year, Jimmy Dunn. Irish Under-21 Player of the Year, Tony Springett. Interesting. Jimmy Dunn, certainly we're going to build a team around next year. A wonderful centre-half. I'm a bit worried about Porteous' aggression alongside him. But it's definitely a good base and a far greater side on paper than we had with Dundee. A younger one, better opportunities, fingers crossed better outcomes. But that should be it for this end of season review. A wonderful time with Hibs in the end. And this summer, it becomes Operation Hold On to All Your Players. We've just gone back into the positives financially, but Mallan's wanted, Doig's wanted, and they're the two that we really can't afford to lose. So we'll see how that goes. But a quick word for Dundee before we finish as well. Because they, of course, the club we started the season with. We did have our first experiences in Europe. We had half a season there where we did pretty well. Unfortunately, it ended sourly because they didn't offer us a deal. They then let us go to Hibs and then signed someone on 3 times the money who did a less good job. So you can understand why there's frustration. But building on that Scottish Cup victory with them last year, we took them into the Europa League group stages. A brilliant win over 2 legs against Olympiacos in the playoff. We'll be at the equivalent round with Hibs next year. A solid season in the Scottish Premiership, lots of injuries, a little bit too much of a hectic window from our director of football. But in the end they recovered, they did okay, but look what happened there. Last 6 of the season, once they played the good opposition, they completely bottled it. And in fact, take away that Motherwell game in the Scottish Premiership there, that's the only one they won in their last 11 league matches. And he only picked up 3 points there, 6 points in the last 11 games. You wonder why they missed out on Europe. We left just a month or so before that. They were 6 points clear of Kilmarnock. And the fact they've bottled that will come back to haunt them, particularly financially and when it comes to signings as well. Their best player, Harvey Griffiths, is going to Rangers on a pre-agreed deal in the summer. For some reason, they've transfer listed Goran, who's one of the best footballers at the club. But despite that, they're a good side and we had some great moments with them. They've got brilliant youngsters coming through. Carmichael, the keeper. I know he missed that chance at the end, but Barry Daly as well, a very good young striker. And Josh Archibald at 19, probably the pick of the bunch at centre-half. So a very good squad. They will do well in the future, but I don't think they've got the right manager, unfortunately. So I'll have to wait and see if that becomes the case. But it might take a manager change for that to work. For us, however, a brilliant season with Hibernian, or a brilliant second half to the season as well. And we will be back with a transfer special next time out as we come back for the start of the 24-25 season. Hopefully our goalkeeper's back with his work permit. Maybe there's some luck with the other two, who knows. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot to be done. Qualifying for the Europa League playoff means we definitely have group stage football next year. And our director of football is tasked with preparing us for it. So if you have enjoyed the episode, the season, our European debut, another big job change, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Thank you if I've picked any Hibs fans up along the way as well. I do appreciate you joining along. If you haven't already, you can stay up to date by subscribing down below. Turn that notification bell on to get alerts of daily FM21 content. This one will be back in 2 days' time with a big transfer special. Bangor City in the meantime, a European run there. And just excitement across the board. 2 live streams a week with Dundee United. Loads of football interviews over on the podcast channel. And let me know, of course, what you thought of that final day. It could not have got much more tense. When Daly went in one-on-one in the 93rd minute, I thought it was over. But we've survived. And we will be in the Europa League next season. An unbelievable achievement given the situation we joined in. And hopefully we won't lose too many stars in the summer. Get your predictions in early. How many do you think will go? How do you think we're going to look at the start of next season? And I'll see you next time for a transfer special. Our first summer as we rebuild at Hibernian. I'll see you there.